Hi everyone, my name is Natalie Jennings, and you're tuned into a Face Project podcast, stories told by people from around the world to help broaden our understanding of the human experience. This is episode number 21.
Welcome to a Face Project podcast.
Hello?
It's just pure life. It's pure
And my
innocence.
mom
It's
is a
pure
writer. My
gratitude.
dad.
So I ended up in America.
I am an adopted
because
Korean and have been all my
To me,
life.
it's a perfect blend of science and creativity.
I was screaming, I will live over here till I die.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. If you're new to the podcast, we just want you to know that we have a variety of stories that cover a variety of topics. Everyone is a little bit different, but our mission right now is to really embrace the idea that now is the time to take the time to understand the people that you share this world with. Now more than ever, we need media and publications to be honest and open and give people a platform to share their stories so that we can all understand each other better. I think it is imperative that we do that. So that's our mission here at A Face Project. This is episode number 21, so there are 20 other episodes going back to March of last year. We're coming up on our 1-year relaunch anniversary, which we're really excited about. And if you're not really a big fan of always having to have earbuds in your ears, we do have a quarterly magazine, a digital version, and a lovely tactile coffee table version. It's about 100 plus pages. It features that quarter or that season's stories along with the portraits of each storyteller. So every story you hear on A Face Project also has portraits of the storyteller on our website and in the magazine. So if a story really strikes you and you'd like to see what the person looks like and where they live and some of the other elements that might relate to their story, head on over to afaceproject.com and look under the podcast menu. As I mentioned, we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary of the relaunch of A Face Project. We're really excited about it. The 4th issue of our magazine will be coming out shortly, and if you haven't checked that out, you can check out a free sample by signing up to our newsletter. You just have to head over to afaceproject.com, throw in your email, you can unsubscribe at any time, and we will send you a sample of the digital copy of our magazine. In this episode, you will hear from Christopher. Christopher is a musician and a composer, and he has some really incredible, profound, and lovely ideas about the art and skill of making music and sharing music with people. If this content is something that you look forward to, please consider becoming a contributing member. It's a lot like NPR. We can't do this without financial support from you. $5 a month, $10 a month, a one-time donation, anything helps us, and it helps us greatly to do this work. So if you are a regular listener, if you enjoy this content, head over to afaceproject.com/contribute, and you can read more there about how to help us do this work and bring more episodes to you each month. Thank you very much for all of you who have already contributed. We appreciate it so very much.
My name's Christopher Marion. I'm a freelance musician and composer and arranger. My main line of work is string arranging. I'm a multi-instrumentalist. I play piano, guitar, bass, most things with strings, and they help me with my compositions. Over the last couple of years, I've had the opportunity to work on hundreds and hundreds of pieces of music, and the majority of my scores are handwritten. My favorite types of music are jazz and classical music, but I also love R&B and soul music and reggae. I'm in the Bob Marley mode right now. I think jazz, as much as I'm not necessarily a jazz musician myself, but for me, listening to it, just the format of improvising around these structural constraints, I don't know, I think it just allows for the greatest flexibility, the clearest expression of an artist's vision, at least the greats. Maybe I overstepped when I said that jazz was the clearest, because a lot of classical pieces, they are perfection, they're the clearest expression of what that artist wants to say. They've taken the time to dictate every note. In the best jazz players, it sounds composed, to my ears. They've got such a command over how things are spoken. So the three things that I think are the most important when trying to channel art, the first one, the most paramount, is to be honest. It really levels the playing field. Being honest has a lot to do with really being comfortable with bringing your own life experiences to the table and making things for the right reasons. I think a lot of artists can get caught up in making things to impress people or making things to try and be like another artist, which is cool. Everyone needs influences, and I have thousands. Everyone has them. But I think just being comfortable in what you have to say based on your life experiences is like, you've got to do that. Even if you're not necessarily as skilled as an artist, and we all have our shortcomings, we can all say something relevant and valid. So the second thing is balance. I think it's not necessarily achieving balance, and when something is completely balanced, it can feel right, but all my favorite art is sort of slightly off balance, a stone in your shoe. John Coltrane, he'll play these notes sometimes that will just make me squirm a little in my seat, but that's a part of the experience. That's part of his honesty. That's part of what he has to say. And then the third thing is speaking clearly, having the skills, developing your own skills to say what you need to say, what you want to say. It's really important to get what you want to say across as best as possible, so that has to do with developing your own skills and your own voice enough that you can be completely comfortable and your bag of material can be as deep as possible, to use a jazz cliche. I speak the clearest on the violin because I spent 10,000 hours with it. I know the instrument the best, literally that instrument. I've had my violin since I was 11 years old. My parents bought it for me, and it's been with me everywhere that I've gone. It's part of my right arm, the one that I carried. I think honesty allows you to develop relationships with people, which is arguably the most important thing ever. Balance is absolutely key. If you do too much of one thing, you're bound to burn out on it and develop some sort of aversion or bitterness to anything. You never want to be unbalanced. Speaking clearly has to do with developing social skills. I think speaking clearly, you just have to know your own voice. You have to be comfortable with who you are enough to just own it, own what you do, how you are.
Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Stay tuned for a full-length piece of music by Christopher at the end of the credits. We thank you for listening. We thank you for subscribing. Check out photos of Christopher at afaceproject.com, and we will be back in a couple of weeks. This episode was recorded and produced by me. Web layout and design by Aaron Woods. Music by Christopher Gannon Marion. photos on our website of Christopher by Natalie Jennings.
you.